Hi everyone, so this is going to be the setup for the lactic acid fermentation lab. As you can see, I've got my head of cabbage here. I just washed it and took these outer pieces off, and so now I'm going to cut it into 4/4 and then chop it up nice and fine. Alright, so now that my cabbage is cut into 4/4 and I've removed the core, I'm going to go ahead and start chopping this up nice and fine. Alright, so now that my cabbage is all nice and chopped up, I'm going to measure out 4 cups of it and add it to this mixing bowl here, and then add 4 teaspoons of salt and give that a good mix, and then we're going to let it sit for 2 hours. Make sure the cabbage is nice and firmly packed in here. Alright, that seems good. There's 1 cup. Second cup going in. Third cup. And then 4th cup. All right, let's get this cutting board out of the way. So I got my 4 cups of cabbage in here now, and I'm just going to now measure out 4 teaspoons of salt. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now that that's in, I'm just going to give this a really good mix, and then we are going to set it to the side for 2 hours, just at least 2 hours, just until some juice can form. And then we are going to take that green juice extract from this green cabbage that we get, and we're going to put it to the side, and we're going to use it later on for a pH test. So this is nice and mixed here with our salt, and I am just going to let this bowl here sit for about 2 hours, and we'll come back and check on it. We've got our green cabbage that has sat here in the bowl for 2 hours with the salt, and so now I'm going to try my best to get a tablespoon of this juice out. Okay. So I got my green cabbage juice measured out in here. We're going to put that to the side and we will use it in a little bit. now I am just going to take this jar. I just finished writing my name on it here. And we are going to put this 4 cups of cabbage into here, pack it down nicely, and then put our water weight down in it, fill the gap with some oil, and then screw on the lid after putting on some foil. This down. We're going to take our olive oil here and just fill in the gap a little bit. This is supposed to be vegetable oil. We're going to take our vegetable oil here and just fill in our gap. Alright, the gap is filled. Now we're going to cover it with some aluminum foil. And put the lid on. All right, so here is this. This is going to sit to the side for room temperature for 11 days. All right, so while we are in that 2-hour window of waiting for our green cabbage to sit with the salt to get some juice, I am just going to go ahead and cut up this head of red cabbage that I have. We're going to chop up at least 2 cups of this so that we can boil it with water to get some red cabbage juice extract, and that's going to be our pH indicator in our pH test later on. My red cabbage is nice and chopped up here, so we're going to put 2 cups of it into this measuring cup so that way we can put it in our pan and then add 2 cups of water. And we're going to bring it to a boil on low heat, and we're going to let that simmer for like 20-25 minutes. about 2 cups there, so I'm going to add this to my saucepan. And then I'm just going to measure 2 cups of water behind me and then also add that to my saucepan. Alright, so I've got my 2 cups of chopped red cabbage and water over here. Just turned the stove on. So we're going to bring this to a boil and let that simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes so that way we get some red juice extract. We've got our red cabbage simmering nicely here. It's got about 8 minutes left, and then we will strain it. Our red cabbage is done simmering, so we're just going to strain it using this into this big measuring cup. As you can see here, we've got lots of that purple juice that we're going to use for our pH indicator, but we're definitely going to let that cool first.